Hey guys, what's up? This is Tommy from GI Tactical in Henrico, Virginia. Today I want to show you one of our newest products that we got at AirsoftGI.com and soon to be GITactical.com. So recently we got the GATE Titan ETU MOSFET system. This is basically a version 2 trigger unit drop-in computerized MOSFET that you can put into any sort of V2 gearbox out there today. Some gearboxes might need a bit of modification, but other than that, pretty much is an easy drop-in for any V2 gun. I have several of these ETUs myself, so I can tell you a lot about them, what I like, what I dislike about them. First few things is that one of the best features of this computerized MOSFET is that it can do things like gun diagnostics. So if your gun somehow is not working or going down or not working properly, the ETU will be able to give you error codes and things like that to tell you like, hey, this is not working, or that's not working, or this component's not working. So without opening your gearbox, the Titan will tell you what's wrong with it. Second, it has a feature called cycle completion. So on the Titan itself, it has optical sensors that literally control, sense, and detect every single thing that's going on in your gearbox. And cycle completion will allow you to be able to fire one shot, one BB, one complete rotation of the gear train system inside your V2 gearbox every single time. So when you're doing things like spamming on semi, you're always going to get a complete trigger pull. You're never going to half cycle, you're never going to over cycle, under cycle, you're always going to get one complete cycle rotation. So that's one of the greatest benefits, and that's why guns with this Titan sound much cleaner, much more efficient, much more quieter, in fact, because they don't overspin, they don't underspin, they don't half-cock, pre-cock, whatever. So that's one of my favorite features. So basically it sets your gear set in the same exact position every single time. Another feature that I really like about the Titan is that you can set things like pre-cocking. So basically what pre-cocking does is it pulls your piston back to a very, very finite point, retracts it all the way back in your gearbox so that when you pull the trigger, it releases a piston. So it's almost like an instantaneous trigger response, kind of like how an HPA unit is. So I can demonstrate that right now with my own gun. So basically what you want to do is you want to fire once on semi, turn it to full auto, and then fire a few times semi again. So you notice how it's going to be a little bit different in how the trigger sounds, because it's no more of a winding gearbox sort of motor sound. It's just releasing the piston every time you pull the trigger in a semi. Now you can turn that off right away on the field so you don't accidentally compress your your spring or anything, so you don't lose any FPS. And do that, you just pull one to semi, you go to safe, fire a few times the semi again, and then you're back to where your piston normally is set. And besides that, so I covered basically diagnostics, I covered cycle completion, I covered pre-cocking. One of the last things I really like is that you can adjust your rate of fire and things like that. So adjusting your rate of fire, you can set it to 100% control so that it'll fire how it wants to fire, or you can even set it to half that. So if my gun shoots 30 rounds a second, but your field has a limit, you can shoot like 15 rounds a second on a 50% control. So that's another feature I like. Some of the things I don't like about the Titan is that it does eat up a lot of your motor. It does heat it up quite a bit for a lot of users. Now that can be fixed by turning off a feature called active braking, which basically, in simple terms, just stops your motor from spinning too much or too little, so it doesn't overspin or anything like that. They are a bit expensive to start off. They cost $150 per unit, but after every other unit, after you buy the complete kit, you only need to spend $100 per unit after that. But really, this is honestly the future of Airsoft. Like, the GATE Titan is one of the most advanced units that I've ever gotten my hands on. It's very similar to a product called the BTC Spectre, but in my opinion, because of the optical sensors that control everything from the trigger to the selector switch to the gear sensing, everything on this just does a lot better because of optical sensors, so there's nothing to break. Besides that, I own 5 of these units. I highly recommend it. They're on our website right now, the complete kits, for about $153. You can get it now on AirsoftGI.com, and yeah, they're really great units, and I highly recommend you look into getting one for your V2 AEG. Thank you very much, and see you guys later.